Your name's not down, you're not coming in.
Hello, Raw Crew. How you doing? It's Latch here. I'm in my studio, the loft, looking a little bit less like a loft now and more like a studio, although perhaps some way to go, but certainly better than the messages I used to send you from my bedroom. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a little update as Raw continues to grow and develop. We recently hit 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're now at 3,100. I think at the turn of the year, before we dropped MCMC and Ribs and all the other great content we've done, we were on around about just under 2,000. So actually, it shows you the scale at which we're growing in just a couple of months to go from less than 2,000 to over 3,000 subscribers. So thank you all for subscribing. And if you haven't done so, do so now, right? Head over to YouTube. If you're not watching this there, click that subscribe button because that will let you know of all the great content that we've got coming out as it happens. We are also now officially in the British Library Sound Archive, and we are applying for the British Podcast Awards in the categories of Best Lockdown Podcast, Best New Podcast, and Best Interview Podcast. We probably won't win any of them, but you know what? You've got to be in it to win it, haven't you? Also, you're going to see a few changes around here. We're going to do a rebranding with a new website coming soon. It's looking wicked, and there's going to be loads of great stuff on that website as well as on YouTube. Plus, you're going to see some slightly altered logos and graphics. And we'd love to hear what you think. Let us know whether it's positive or negative. We take all feedback and on board because ultimately we do this for you guys. So let us know whether you like it or if you don't like it or if you think something might be a bit different. We might not take you on, but, you know, we love to hear the feedback from you because, as I say, this is all focused on you guys and we do this for you. There's also going to be the possibility of some cool Raw merchandise finally coming soon for anyone who wants to look wicked on the dance floor once raves are back. I know they say it's June the 21st, Boris Johnson. Not exactly the most trustworthy man, so whether that will happen is TBC. But so raves will come back at some point. And if you want to look cool as well as feel cool, there's going to be some Raw merchandise coming, you know, your usual T-shirts and hoodies and all that sort of stuff. Plus, sort of this thing right here and here. We'll be offering that stuff, and you can get your own personalized Raw merchandise of this kind of thing if you want it. So keep your eyes out for that as and when it comes. And again, if you want anything designed yourself, or you think this is good or bad, or you think we're missing a trick, do get in touch with us. You know where we are. We're on all social medias. We're on hello at the 90s Rave podcast and a whole host of other places. Also, we've got exciting plans for more and better content around the 90s rave scene, including a feature we're going to be road testing next week called Grumpy Old Mentalists. I came up with the idea, and it is very fitting when you find out who our first two guests are. Watch this space over the weekend for more info. But what it's going to be is a live Q&A where some of the veterans of the rave scene, some of the people that you'll have seen already appearing on the podcast, are going to be taking your questions live on Wednesday night. That's next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. But keep your eyes open for more details about that. You won't want to miss it. It's going to be great fun. I've got absolutely no doubt about it. Also, we might be spreading our wings beyond the 90s rave scene and adding to the Raw crew. Again, not confirmed yet. More details to follow as we have them, but exciting times for Raw. We're looking forward to developing, as I say, and growing beyond what is already a fantastic base of support that you lot have given us. And we want to bring you along with the ride as well. So, plus, any rave producers that are watching this, we want to give back to this scene, right? There's loads of great people making great 90s rave sounding tunes at the moment, or inspired tunes or whatever, and we want to give back. We're not going to tell you exactly how that is going to be now, but if you're a producer who feels like you want to get some love from the Raw and the Raw crew and what we're doing and be a part of this community, we want to hear from you. So let us know in the comments if you're a producer of rave music and wants to get involved in this thing. I know there's no detail on it yet, but there will be. Get in touch, and when we're ready, we'll let you know what that is. It's not going to be long. It'll be coming in the next week or so, I think, when we tell you exactly what we're going to do. And if you know of any producers that are creating great rave music and feel that they deserve some Raw love, then also tag them too in here in the comments. Let them know this thing that we're going to be doing, because it's great. It's going to be exciting. I hope it's going to work. We'll sort of see with this. It's all a bit of an experiment, but we really felt like there's so many people making some great tunes at the moment that we want to give some love back to them and give them some help to sell their records, whether it's either on vinyl or if it's on Bandcamp or whatever. We just want to give some love back to all you guys that are making some great stuff. So if you're a producer or you know a producer, right here below the comments in this piece. Also, our competition, just to bring you up to date on that, to win the Asen box set and the Junior Tomlin prints has closed. We received around 100 entries for that, so thank you very much to anybody who did enter. The winners, I'm pleased to say, are listed in the description as well, with another 5 lucky winners added. So that's 17 prize winners, not just the original 12. Details of how to claim those prizes are in the description, and remember to claim those prizes within 14 days, because otherwise we're going to have to give them to somebody else, and we don't want to do that, do we? Finally, just to let you know what's coming in the next few podcasts, we've got the first part of Alternate Mark Archer's most in-depth interview, that's his words, that he's ever done. That's landing tomorrow, with part 2 next Friday. We've also got the controversial figure of MC Magika coming soon, and loads more besides, including an incredible story about a bad boy 90s rave DJ who is now a barrister. It is one of the most remarkable stories that we've covered, or are likely to cover, on this podcast. So do keep your eyes out for that. You will not want to miss it. And if you want to see any of your favorite rave artists or promoters or MCs, DJs, pirates, whatever, whoever they may be, if they've got a story to tell, if you want to see them on this podcast, it's all very well telling me. Like, we appreciate all of your suggestions, and we are trying to work through them as quickly as we can. But you know what's going to convince them? You're going to convince them. So if you want someone to come on this podcast, it's all very well telling me, but why don't you tell them too? Because that's the thing that's going to convince them. I'm going to them and saying, we're hearing from people. They're saying they want to hear from you. Do you want to come on the podcast and speak to your fans and tell them the story, and you get the inside track to your careers and their lives? And some are up for it, some take a bit of convincing. But the one thing that is going to convince them is being bombarded by people like you who want to hear from them and go, hey, get on the Raw the 90s Rave podcast, because we want to hear your story. That's the sort of thing that's going to convince some of these people to break their silence, break cover, and finally come on the podcast. So make sure you do that. Also, finally, before we say goodbye, I want to say thank you for anyone who's donated to us over the period of time from start to now, and that keeps doing it. You're still able to do that, and in fact those donations are going to keep this podcast on the road. You can see the improvements we've made with new webcams, with new lighting, with all the kit that we require to do this on an ongoing basis. Plus, every now and again, while I don't take a single penny from this myself, I do pay, there's 4 of us putting in about 40, 50, 60 hours a week on this, I think, probably overall. And I do give them a bit of cash every now and then to say thank you for all your hard work and efforts from doing this, because, they've got their own day jobs that this is eating into. So while I don't take any money from this at the moment, other people do. And so your donations keep this going. It keeps their passion up. It keeps their spirits going. It keeps it alive, as well as all your positive feedback. Because, while we love all your positive feedback, you can't eat it, can you? You can't feed your kids with it. So if you can donate, that's great. You can still do that at the GoFundMe.com/the 90s Rave podcast page. And also with the new website, there's going to be a PayPal donation button, which will allow you to make repeat donations. Plus, we're going to be doing a YouTube subscription-y type thing where, you can get involved and feel part of the community, and you'll get little prizes and gifts from now and extra added content from time to time. So keep your eyes on that. And when they do launch, please, if you can afford to give anything at all, particularly on a repeat basis, it will keep this podcast going and also moving it from strength to strength, because we've got big plans for this. I know I say all these big plans. I hope I eke them out slowly over time, and you do feel like I don't just say stuff and don't do it. I think you can see the stuff we're doing. I think you can see the changes we're making. And just to let you know, there are loads more quality changes coming. But your donations really do make a difference, so we can continue to make those improvements, make those changes, make those developments, and bring you cracking 90s rave content and perhaps more wider rave content in the future. We shall see. Anyway, big love from me, from the guys, from Grant's Arts, from Sean, from Sam, and the new people that we are quietly working with behind the scenes. We thank you all for your help, all support, whether it's money or not. Anything, all support. We love it all. We love you all. We hope you like what we're doing, and we thank you for coming with us on this journey, because this is all about you. Lots of love.
X amount of pressure, X amount of raw.